Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for this week's Unfiltered News by the Reality Zone of the Unfiltered News, where political correctness is not spoken here. And this is what we have for this week for February 2nd through the 8th, 2013. Here we go. The criminal said, "Well, guess we'll just have to go home then. Darn those liberals and their weapons ban." Yeah, as if criminals listen to such things. Yeah, that's how it works. And that's how it will work, even. No. Isn't what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen in the headlines this week. Video: Seattle Mayor Mike McGinn, under massive pressure from the public, canceled the federally funded drone program. The 2 drones will be returned to the manufacturers without refund. Good job for him. YouTube, February08. UK. Horse meat has been discovered in the processed food products claiming to contain only beef. Yeah, that's right. They're putting horse meat in your hamburgers at not McDonald's, but Burger King. Food products claim to contain beef. The government is encouraging people to continue their regular eating habits and to discourage the scandal. Horse meat is no more dangerous to humans' health than beef. But this demonstrates the fraud that does exist in the food industry, and labels cannot always be trusted, don't you know? In the BBC, 2013, February 8th. Don't you know? You may be eating horse meat when you go to Burger King. U.S. anti-drone bill in 2 states are gaining steam as they wind their way through the state legislatures. Montana bill would prohibit drones from using any personnel devices, weapons, and would make evidence inadmissible for collected by the drone. Virginia law places 2-year moratorium on the drones' uses by the state and local law enforcement. TAC, February 7th. Amazing. Supplements heal 16 out of 17 cases of molecular degeneration caused by aging. Don't you know? Next, here we go. U.S. researcher finds that U.S. Army secretly experimented on Americans by spraying them with zinc cadmium sulfide. The object was to see what effect this had on lungs. Oh, really? Or breathing? And if it could be used as a weapon in war to kill people, innocent women and children. Low-income areas with high concentrations of children were targeted. The researcher found evidence that the chemicals may have been mixed with radioactive particles to cause cancer later on. KSDK, February 6th. Don't you know? You're being poisoned. You're killing you. You're lab animals in America. Don't you know? Oh man, neo-alchemists are using bacteria to obtain pure gold from the ocean. Currently, it's not cost-effective, but who knows what the future may hold. Mother Nature Network, February 6th. The Royal Bank of Scotland must pay $620 million in fines to the U.S. and British governments for rigging LIBOR, another criminal interest rates. This money goes to the government that were supposed to regulate the banks and prevent this sort of thing. They do not go to bank customers who lost their money, who were victimized by the fraud. So the governments are rewarded for their lack of diligence. The banksters who commit the LIBOR crime will not be sent to prison. But we are told that the fines will be deducted from their bonuses. Just from their bonuses. Criminal. However, the customary practice in such matters is to redirect bonus payments into the forms of compensation, such as increased salaries and retirement benefits. Of course, not your benefits, not your retirement benefits, but their crimes. They're rewarding criminals, don't you know? We suspect this is merely an effort to quell outrage from the UK citizens who bailed out RBS in 2008 for $71 billion. An article claims the U.S. banks have paid their bailouts and the U.S. government has made a profit from it all. The government, not you. This is not true. The so-called paybacks were accounting tricks, such as secretly getting new bailouts under the table to publicly pay back the first bailouts. They're robbing you under the table. CNBC probably knows this, but chose to perpetuate the myth. CNBC, February 6. Don't you know you're being robbed? These criminals are in charge. We need to get the criminals out of government. Don't you know? Video. Obama's top campaign donors have been awarded posts as foreign diplomats. That's right. If you're an Obama suck-his dick opponent, you got a diplomat position. The higher the donations, the more safe and prestigious the country to which they are assigned. This is a long-established practice in American politics, but this report illustrates how high the price tag has become. You'll never guess what country tops the list. YouTube, February 5th. Criminals! I'm telling you, we got criminals running criminals. And we, the people who are not criminals, are being prosecuted. Evilness. Total evilness. Connecticut state prosecutors have sealed documents relating to the Sandy Hill shooting, and in so doing, said that there were multiple suspects. More than one. Not the lone gunman that shot himself. They probably shot him. This is highly sufficient because it challenges the official story that there were only one shooter. Digital Journal, February 5th. Don't you know? You're being lied to. Don't trust the MSM. The mainstream media will lie to you for their own purposes because they're allowed to, according to a federal judge 5 years ago, I guess it was, when these reporters said, we're not going to report on this drug being put in the cows and stuff to produce more milk that has side effects and cancer to the people. Never mind. 7 million Americans will lose their employer-based health insurance under Obamacare. The reason fiscal cliff deal reduced employer incentives to participate in the program made it more cost-effective for them to pay penalties and not buying the insurance. Undoubtedly, the next step will be for the government to increase penalties. Pay them money if you don't suck their... Eventually, the employers will go broke and close their doors. Then their employees not only will have no insurance, they will have no jobs. Either will become wards of the state. That's the end game of collectivism, don't you know? Collectivists are running everything. Call them what you want. Just pick a name out there. Communists, whatever. They're collectivists. It's the few running the many. And that's what they're up to. Total domination. CBN, February 5th. Don't you know what's going on? Are you watching too much MSM? Mainstream media, not to see what's going on. Are you watching CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox News, or the rest of them? They lie to you. They read off prompters when they're talking to each other. Don't you see it? The Obama administration has granted itself broad powers in planting destructive viruses into computers of individual companies or nations that it claims are a threat. This information was deliberately leaked by the White House, but details are being kept secret. Note that when others leak information that embarrasses the administration, they go to prison. But when the White House leaks information that it thinks will be accepted by the sheeple as positive by voters, no one is prosecuted because they're lying to you. They're trying to destroy you. Tech Dirt, February 4th. You think I'm doing this out of acting? No, I'm pissed off, mad as hell, and I won't take it anymore. And you shouldn't either. Virginia, the Charlottesville City Council passed a resolution to ban drones within city limits for surveillance and other purposes such as firing tasers and spraying tear gas. NBC 29, February 4th. And they should. These police officers need to be arrested. We got a rogue out there right now. It says gun confiscation is good. We should worship it. And he's killing cops and people at the same time. I wonder what SSRIs he's on. Continue. Virginia. Oh yeah, so it's fine. Never mind. I'm losing my track here because of this madness going on. Arizona is suing EPA over its mandate to force Arizona power companies to spend $1 billion in equipment to attempt to reduce haze in the Grand Canyon. The state attorney general says the proposed pollution controls would be ineffective and that this is merely a ploy to shut down the coal plants, who only put out steam. I'm telling you, I know what scrubbers are. I worked on them. I'm an electrician. I know this. And they're anything to take money out of your pocket and put in theirs. Reuters, February 4th. Video. Israel Defense Minister tactically admits that Israel is responsible for recent airstrikes in Syria. You know, the Zionists, the Central Asians that run Israel. He justifies this as a move to prevent serious weapons from being introduced in Lebanon. Syrian President Assad said the airstrikes prove that Israel is in league with Syria's enemies, mercenaries. YouTube, February 3rd. Don't you know yet? Haven't you woke up to what they're doing? You're asleep if you don't. Video. Father of a child who attends the Sandy Hook Elementary School defends his right to protect his daughter at home under the Second Amendment and asks the politicians why schools should be unprotected, gun-free zones. Because when you put that sign up at any school, business, or mall, you're telling the gunman who's on SSRIs, open air shooting gallery. What can you not understand? YouTube, February 3rd. And moving targets. Oh my God. These people are ignorant if they're not stupid or if they're not having an agenda. Not to realize that every man, woman, and child should carry a gun under proper training, of course. Holland's fourth largest bank, SNS Real, with double A's, is nationalized and receives a $5 billion bailout after a depositor run on bank and cash removal of $1.4 billion since mid-January. I wonder why. They know the system's falling, and you should too, and get your money out of the bank unless it's a local bank. You know, a small bank, a credit union, you should leave your money in them. But these fucking national banks, say BOA, which is what the name means, Bank of America, squeeze you until you're dead, you should get your money out of that. And along with Citibank and the rest of them. Senior bank holders are protected from losses at taxpayers' expense, but the losers are junior bank holders, shareholders, and taxpayers, of course. Washington Post, February 2nd. Don't you know? This steams my blood. U.S. proposes buying 70,000 tons of nuclear waste. Nuclear waste is increasing steadily and is currently stored temporarily in 79 locations across the states. Russian television, February 2nd. And you should see what state you're in. They're putting nuclear waste in the ground and it's going to leak into your water and you're going to drink it. Have fun dying of cancer and making money on the end of the AMA and the pharmaceutical companies. Makes me mad. Video. MSNBC editor edited the video testimony of a grieving father of a child killed at Sandy Hook to make it appear he was being heckled by Second Amendment supporters in the audience. He wasn't. They just asked, why do you want to take away our Second Amendment right? Is all they said. And it was edited and cut to make you think that they were saying otherwise. It's not true. See the unedited version here and you will realize how the mainstream media falsifies news to engineer public opinion. Hollywood Reporter, February 2nd. Don't you know that yet? Are you too stupid to wake up from your sheepleness? Oh, I know I'm talking to the choir, but it's just the ones that get a hold of this and will wake up going, you're right, they are doing this. U.S. 331 sheriffs and 4 state sheriff associations have taken stand against Obama's gun control. They should. In this video, Sheriff Richard Mack explains why this is important. InfoWars, February 2nd. Do you not understand? They're trying to take our guns away so they can turn us into a Mao country, or Stalin, or Hitler, or some other country. Our commander-in-chief is nothing but abomination. Don't you know yet? Israel admits that it gave birth control injections to Ethiopian Jewish women. That's right, because they have brown skin, without their knowledge or consent. Justification is to preserve racial purity of the Jewish state. Central Asians. That's the same excuse used by Hitler for eliminating Jews from Nazi Germany. Do you not understand that? They're Central Asians. They're not even fucking Jews. The Palestinians are more Jew than they are. They're Semitics. And they are anti-Semitics. In reality, UK Independent posted February 2nd. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the ATF, botched a sting operation that was phony storefront designed to attract drug dealers and those selling guns illegally. They said their goal was to keep guns and narcotics out of the hands of criminals. Here are the results. An ATF machine gun was stolen. Over $35,000 merchandise was stolen. from the phony store. They accused a man of selling drugs when in fact he was in prison at the time. The ATF needs, the alphabets need to go. Milwaukee Journal Sentinel posted February 2nd. We need to get rid of the alphabet soups. We already do. All the alphabets that the illegal government has come up with need to go. TSA, FBI, NSA, all those phony fronts for control of the American people need to go. This is the analysis section. And here we go with the analysis. Judge Neapolitano explains that legal justifications by Obama administration or as an abomination authorizing drones to murder Americans is unconstitutional, and it is. This is the understatement of the century. Unconstitutional, illegal, immoral, tyrannical, frightening, and insane. See it on Fox Insider, February 6th. It's a video. Watch it, learn, wake up, and go against our government. It's not a right government. When the government goes like this, we supposed to hit the restart button and start over again. Video. Ben Swan explains how hemp is different from marijuana and why it should be legalized. 5,000 uses, I guess, would help with that. Reality check, February 5th. Next! Oh my God, we're being sent to hell in a handbasket and don't even know it. Video. Australia farmers are angry because government policy requires the country to import and export its food ahead of being self-sufficient. Government agencies are grabbing control over farming and water, using environmentalism as an excuse, much the same as being done in America and many other countries. Watch the YouTube, February 3rd. Ben Swan again debunks celebrity Danny Glover's claim about the Second Amendment and finds a historical racial bias against blacks and Hispanics in gun control. From the Revolutionary War, his civil rights movement. Another video. Excuse me. I'm getting really upset. February 2nd. Matt Tiberi explains that failure of the Obama's Department of Adjustment and prosecutes prosecute bankers for incredibly serious crimes creates a double standard that sets privileged individuals above the law. And they are. These people are above the law. You're not above the law, but they are in government. The revolving door pattern industry insiders, corporations, of course, are above the law, moving into power positions of government to protect those industries is common. This is the best analysis for this problem we have seen. YouTube, February 2nd. You gotta see this. You gotta know that the government is playing above the law while you're being prosecuted for having a sandwich bag in your car. Stupid things for stupid people, I guess. This has a star behind it, meaning this is a collector's item. You should download this. James Colbert interviews Tom Selleck about Operation Gladio. This is a NATO operation that for decades committed false flag terrorism to manipulate public opinion. Colbert then joined by FBI whistleblower Sybil Edwards, who is a great whistleblower, came out and told you everything that was coming down the pike, who outlines how Operation Gladio was used in Turkey and continues globally in the current times. Incredibly important information. You've got to see it. The Colbert Report, February 2nd. Now for the cool down, if there can be, with the government being criminals. There was a picture that should be made into a mural. Look at that. That's beautiful. It should be made in a wall mural for your office, business, or a home. Just put that on the wall, 8 by 17 feet, and have that in your home. Beautiful. You can click here to enlarge it to get the full appreciation of it. Humor. This is the humor for the week. Should work be grandkids also is another form. But here's one. I don't know where this came from or how they did it. But this is funny. A kid hanging on the window coming into a landing. Anyways, let's go on. Is there anything else here besides this week's discussions? Commentary by Greg. Why do we use torture? It's because they like it. It's fun. And that's it for this week for the Unfiltered News. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked this week's Unfiltered News. Hope you spread this around, give it to others, let others know what's going on, because you got this type of stuff going on. You got dumbing down of America going on. Yeah, criminals are going to think like this. That's stupid. And I'm going to put you over here and let that run for a minute. Until next time, this is Spellbinder saying, be good at it. Or just be good. Have a wonderful evening on this Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. If you're not up there being snowed in by 24 to 30 inches of snow in New York and that area up in the northeast, they're predicting grand snow. Al Gore is lying. And good day.